Trump is shaking up the world view on pretty much everything. Alex Phillips, former member of the European Parliament, and Liz Truss, former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. All right, so, Alex, this whole thing with Trump shaking up the entire world. Huge difference in a matter of seconds. You've got Europe responding. You've got the World Economic Forum going on right now. What's your take on all this?
Yeah, I think it's really exciting. There are a lot of people on the right wing of British politics who are so pleased to finally see America going, right, we're going to wake up and we're going to start changing the way things are done in the same way that we basically live under a communist government right now in Britain. And so at least the hope is when there's that divergence between America and the UK, it gets a lot more difficult for the UK to drag its heels.
No, absolutely. Well, ma'am, you obviously former Prime Minister of England or of the UK. There's a huge difference between the freedom of speeches from where you are from where we are from. Trump has strengthened those. But you have people being arrested right now in the UK for a Facebook post. I mean, that is shocking.
I mean, it is absolutely nuts that people are getting longer in jail for a Facebook post than they are for raping underage girls. I mean, that is what is going on in Britain. We need a Trump-style revolution. Yeah. Everything that's happening here, saying there are two genders, dealing with the border, getting rid of net zero and getting on with drill, baby, drill. That is what we need right over Europe, and it can't come soon enough because our country is tanking economically and it's tanking socially because we haven't sorted out those problems.
Well, about that net zero stuff, right now, Europe and mostly Germany and stuff is depleting their natural gas resources at record paces, and they're not refilling them. England at one point, or UK at one point, had record spike, like 8 times spike in energy prices.
We have the highest energy prices in the world, and it's killing our industry. We've just closed down our last steel plant that produced steel from scratch. And we need to get on with fracking in the UK. We have massive natural gas reserves. We could be fracking, but it's the environmental nutters that have been gluing themselves to the road that have stopped any progress in our country. And what is going to happen over the next few years is people in Britain are going to be calling out for President Trump once he's finished in America to go and run to be Prime Minister in Britain, because we need the kind of change in Britain that we're seeing in America now.
And since we're in America, one of the things we can criticize is the fact that, the #1 name in London is Muhammad right now. Immigration is a real problem.
That's in the UK, and that's Mohammed with a certain spelling.
Right.
So if you did all the different spellings of Mohammed, it's the #1 by quite a long way. And, we've been having this conversation with a lot of Americans. It's amazing that a tweet went viral, right, on a post on X about the grooming gang scandal. These men largely from Pakistani communities who were drugging, abusing, torturing, mass raping girls, handing them around from men to men in orgies. We're talking about tiny little girls here. This first came to light in the UK 10 years ago, and it's taken X and someone posting it on X for the whole world to go, oh my goodness, how has that happened? At the moment, there's been a trial taking place for the Southport murderer, a guy who had an Al-Qaeda manual who went and stabbed loads of little girls in a dance class, a Taylor Swift dance class. The government tried to cover it up again. It led to rioting in Britain when they realised information about who the perpetrator was being concealed from them. We have a massive problem with this in the UK, and what's the government doing? They want to bring in legislation to criminalise Islamophobia, to make it hate speech, to criticise Islam.
Well, that's the problem, is you can't even say facts without them knocking on your door.
It's appalling. We've got short of police resources, but they are knocking on journalists' doors at the weekend to complain about tweets that they're putting out. And people in Britain are very, very angry about this. Keir Starmer has a 16% approval rating because people can see there are massive problems, but no one's talking about it because we've got the BBC, which covers all of this stuff up. And the BBC needs to be defunded. I heard you talking about PBS, but the BBC is an even bigger problem in Britain. It is the Britain-bashing corporation. It needs to be defunded.
This is great. I mean, by the way you guys are talking, I feel like you guys are going to start driving on the right side of the road soon. All right. Liz Truss, Alex Phillips, we very much appreciate
Good to be on your show.
Thank you.
All right, coming up, promises made, promises kept. President Trump pardoning more than 1,000 January 6 defendants. One of them joins me in just a little bit. You do not want to miss that. But first,
he loves the Constitution. He fights for what's right. He hates the bad guys. He's a freedom warrior. He's your freedom warrior. Watch Carl Higbie every weekday on Newsmax.